our Regional Director of Digital Tools. We're going to turn the time over to you. Thank you.
I am so excited to tell you guys some of the new things. Now, we have trained on the leader preview tool before, but pay attention because there are some different things that we're going to talk through here. First, though, I want to talk through some of these things that David just talked about, some exciting things. We are going to allow both Rubies and brand reps who sell through their whole allocation in the first 48 hours to receive additional allocations. So you can get even more access to the preview the more you sell in the first little bit. So I want to quickly go through, this is just kind of like an all-inclusive slide of sharing and purchasing and how those things begin and the pricing and everything. So I'm going to pause here for just a second on this page. So we have a sharing phase that begins on July 9th, Friday, July 9th at 10 a.m. A reminder that sharing lasts throughout the entire process. So sharing doesn't end. Sharing ends when the entire preview is over. So you can share throughout the entire preview. We will start purchasing on Wednesday, July 14th at 10 a.m. Mountain. The additional allocation that I talked to, so those accounts that qualify who have sold through their those Rubies and brand rep accounts that have sold through their entire allocation by 10 a.m. on Friday will get an additional 20 for Rubies, and brand reps will get an additional 5 by the end of the day on Friday. And then the purchasing ends on Wednesday, the end of the day on Wednesday, July 21st. So let's talk through the tool a little bit, and you've seen this before. If this is your first preview, though, you may not have seen this. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. Where do you find these collagen products, right? So we're having this exclusive preview. Where do you find them? So the easiest thing to say is they are on newskin.com. When you log into newskin.com, you will see this notification pop up that says you have been allocated these products. That will happen on July 9th, that when the sharing window opens. You can, of course, dismiss this message, but it will persistently throughout the entire preview be available at the top in the header. Next slide, please. So once you click on that, you will want to know how to share your allocation, right? So pretty simple. Click on Manage My Product Access and then Share Access. And then you will go through this process of being able to share access to individuals. You'll search for their name, search by their ID, which I'll talk about in just a second. The differences on that, how much you would like to allocate to this person, how many units of your full allocation would you like to share with this person, and then go ahead and confirm that. Now pay attention. Who can you share with? Okay, this is different if you participated in previous previews that we may have had with Nutricentials. You can share with any ID. It's super important. You can only search by name if they're actually within 6 generations of your team. The easiest thing, if you have the ID number, then you can go ahead and share with them. You're limited. We can't search by name the entire organization. You can imagine how stressful that is. So we have opened it up. This is different from before, where you can share with anyone if you have their ID number. So this person may be your upline. This person may be not within 6 generations or within your breakaways brand rep 6 generations. So if you have their ID number, you can share with them any account type. Who can't you share with, right? So this is a US only collagen launch. So it will be only US IDs, only being shipped to US addresses, US IDs. So any ID outside of the United States will not be able to be shared with. Of course, if that account has chosen to not share their contact information, if they have their privacy flags on, just like some of our other features that you will not be able to share with them, that is off by default. They've chosen to turn that on. An important piece, if you have been, say you received 5 and someone else shares a 6th one with you, you cannot reshare that 6th allocation that was shared with you. It's basically only a one transfer, if that kind of makes sense. And the privacy settings, as always, can be changed in BNG. So how can you reclaim product allocation that you already sent to another person? Maybe you send it to someone and they're out of town, they didn't see it. And you obviously want to sell through as much of this as you possibly can, right? So click on review shared access, same area of your manager product access, right? You can only reclaim this if it has not been purchased. Once it's been purchased, of course, it's been claimed, right? Go ahead and go to the next slide, please. So this process is very similar to sharing, right? You will see who you've shared with here. I've shared with Jennifer Jones. Love those Jennifer names, right? And you can go ahead and reclaim. You can reclaim just one unit. If you've shared in this example, for example, shared 4, you can just take 1 back. You can take all 4 back, whatever that is. Next slide, please. Also, if someone is not able to use this and they're like, oh, I'm not going to really be able to purchase all this, they can return it to you as well. So it's both sides of the coin, right? If you're not hearing something from someone, you haven't seen them purchase that yet, you're getting a little nervous, you can go in and reclaim that, allocate it to someone else. If, of course, you received one and you're not going to be able to use that, you can return it back to who gave it to you. Same area, clicking on manage your product access. You'll click on returning the product allocation. And the screens are very similar here on the next slide of just choosing what to allocate and returning that. And then you'll be notified that you don't have any products remaining if you do in fact return everything. And as always, you can return 1 or the full allocation depending on how many you've received. Okay, and finally, how do we purchase this, right? So I mentioned the purchase date is on Wednesday, July 14th at 10 a.m. So prior to purchase, you'll see a grayed out button for the example here. It started on January 28th. This is obviously for placement here. But the black add to cart button will go live and you'll be able to purchase up to as many as you have not shared with others, right? So if you want to purchase all 20, yeah, you can purchase all 20 or all 5 as well. Again, only US IDs can purchase collagen products. I want to make sure to emphasize that as something of emphasis in this launch, and also something that is enforced. So if you're seeing different things, that is something that's enforced on the back end. Okay, because we went through it so quick, because Tana, it's so much great information, I want to go through quickly some of these things to keep in mind. So this is only on newskin.com. This is not something that's available on my site or product offer, right? Because we are limiting this to a leader preview. Using my site and product offer will be part of the normal launch in September. This is obviously not available on subscriptions because this is a leader preview as well. Just to go quickly through who you can share with again, remember, you can share with anyone is the easiest way, especially if you have their ID. If you don't have their ID number, they do need to be within 6 generations to find them by their name. They need to be in your genealogy. It can take 24 hours for any brand new account to appear in the search. So if they signed up right away, you may have to wait just a little bit of period of time for them to appear in the search. Who can't you share the product with? You can't reshare any allocation again has been shared with you. Just one-to-one transfer on that. If they can't have set their privacy settings to not be able to share or be seen, then that will also take effect. So I'm super excited about this new enhancements to this tool. For those of you who have used it before, it's a great tool. You can kind of track where things are at. And it's available to use. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited about this product. It's so exciting. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to David.